Yeah, hi, I'm Emmanuel. I'm 36 years of age. I moved from Ghana to Australia 3.5 years ago, and I'm currently living in Granville. So, I believe God wanted me to come here, so that's why I came to Australia. And I settled in Sydney because my cousin was already living here, so I lived for 6 months with him, and I got a job within that period, and that's why I continued living in Sydney. Yeah, so before moving to Australia, I attended high school. I majored in science, and then I did my first degree in electronic engineering. That was an honors program for years, and I started my company, an electronic security and IT company. It's called Step Technologies. So I worked there for about 6 years. So I was in the second year of my PhD, and I got my visa here. So I had to decide. Eventually I decided to come here, so I had to stop the PhD program and I moved to Australia. I had my skills assessed, and it was deemed equivalent to an Australian bachelor's degree. So I registered with Engineers Australia as a full member. So my thinking was I was going to get a job. That was what I was promised. So I started applying for jobs. I kept on applying and I didn't get any feedback. I think recruiters are going to accept me, to, in quote, take the risks on me because I don't have Australian experience. And if I had worked with a company with a large multinational company with branches in Australia, perhaps they could have considered, but with a company that is unknown here, they wouldn't consider me. Yeah, so I kept on applying. I couldn't get a job. With the issue of employers is saying I don't have Australian experience, I think it's quite common with a lot of people. So there are just a couple of things that come to mind. First, I think of course you cannot have an Australian experience without being given the opportunity to prove yourself. So I think the government can encourage employers to provide work experience programs. I know there are incentives for people to hire apprentices. There could be an incentive where the government can provide some tax rebates for 6 months or so for people to employ new migrants. That could be something that could be done, and even to take them on. So I think those are some of the measures that can be used to incentivize employers to employ new migrants.
And how does it make you personally feel, like the situation of being as skilled as you are and as qualified and as intelligent and not being able to work in Australia in sort of the field that you were trained for?
Well, definitely it's a bit frustrating because the kind of work that I do here, even my employees back in Ghana were higher than like a security guard. So they were technicians, and I had partnership managers, administrative managers. So I remember when I came and I told my wife I was doing security guard, he didn't even want to tell my friends what I was doing because it was, in quote, humiliating to be doing security work. So it's a bit frustrating, and I think Australia is missing out because it's a lot of talent that can contribute. I could pay double my tax or even triple my tax if I got a professional job. So I think not only I that lose, but the economy as a whole loses, and the better we take measures to address it, the better it will be for all of us. I'm loving it despite everything.